Today is day 272 of the podcast, and Judges 17:6 reads, "In those days there was no king in Israel. Every man did what was right in his own eyes." I'm going to share something, but I'm going to kind of start along the same vein. We've been here before. I'm going to rehearse it again. But untethered from the living God at the time of the fall, man wandered far from God's will and the Father's heart and purposes. Without God's Spirit, man was left to navigate each day of his life from his mind, his will, and his emotions. It goes clear back to what I shared last January. Instead of reflecting the image and likeness of his Father, our God, our Creator, we were distorted by every misled decision that was made. We became more distorted. It's difficult to govern a people who only look to themselves as authority. That's really key for where I'm going. It's difficult to govern a people who only look to themselves for authority and give little regard to the ways of the Lord. The book of Judges was characterized by such a rebellious people. There's no king in Israel. Everyone did what was right in their own eyes. God raised up leaders during the time of the Judges, and those leaders would rescue God's people, but they would continually wander again. They'd return to apostasy. They would frequently be engaged in idolatry, and they would fall away. So it's insightful for us to look up the definition of the word anarchy. It means the absence of government and the absolute freedom of the individual. It's kind of regarded as a political ideal at times. So anarchy is opposed, but then anarchy takes over. It's how Israel lived for approximately 350 years with no king and everybody doing what's right in their own eyes, without God as king and without man in submission or subjection to anyone. It is not too far from how we live today. So, on the brink of anarchy, with all seeming restraint removed, we're vulnerable to all that would overwhelm us, to all that would overpower us, to all that would overtake us. Consider how close we resemble this state of anarchy. Submission is the only path back to the ways of the Lord. So today's question, where or with whom do you practice submission?